Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Susan. I'm an admissions rep on behalf of George Mason, and I'm joined with the MBA program director, Dr. Bellows. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Susan. Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining this information session. My name is Yanis Bellos. I'm an associate professor of information systems and operations management at the School of Business here at George Mason University. I am also the MBA program director, as Susan mentioned. I joined George Mason in 2012, and since then, one of my favorite parts of my job has been teaching, connecting, and learning from MBA students. In my capacity as MBA faculty, I have designed and taught courses in a variety of modalities and formats, whether face-to-face, hybrid, online, and so on. So I do look forward to sharing my perspective with you and answering any questions you have this evening. So let's move to the next slide and let's start talking about our MBA program. Our MBA comprises 48 credits, so that is 10 core courses, 5 elective courses, and 1 global requirement, which you can meet by choosing between an international residency, which involves traveling, and or a traditional course with an international emphasis. Students can take courses in person or asynchronously online. Each in-person course takes place once per week in our Fairfax or Arlington campuses during the evening from 7:20 to 10. But regardless of whether you're taking a course in person or online, each course takes place over 8 weeks. You have the flexibility to do the program fully in person, fully online, or mixed modalities. You can start in fall, spring, or summer, and you set your own pace. Specifically, you can complete the program in 16 to 33 months. During or even before deciding to join the MBA program, you can also choose to pursue a certificate in business analytics. We will elaborate on all of these in the following slide. I should not forget to brag about a couple of things here. First of all, our online and in-person MBA programs are in the top 100 programs. Most recently, the 2023 U.S. News and World Reports ranked us number 65 in the best part-time MBA category nationally, and number 40 among public institutions. Our online program has been ranked number 51 among public universities and number 3 in the DC metro area. Most notably, our students enjoy a 2-to-1 return on investment. On the admission side, our MBA program is test optional. However, if you like to submit a test score with your application, we invite you to do so. The next slide captures a snapshot of our MBA student population. The average age of our students is 33 years old, with an average work experience of 9 years. The split between male versus female students is around 50 to 48. And over the years, we have seen this getting closer and closer to 50-50. We have a diverse student body. This diversity is reflected in the different countries of origin of our students, their race, and their undergraduate majors. For instance, our students have majored in fields such as theater, law, English, fashion, engineering, economics, just to mention a few. The only point I want to emphasize here, this is to emphasize that you do not need prior training in business to do an MBA. The next slide captures a snapshot of our career outcomes. The top 3 industries our graduates find themselves in are government and government contracting, consulting, and financial services. The impressive ROI that I mentioned earlier is in part driven by the fact that upon graduation, our students report an average salary of 104K, and a 94% employment rate, with the overwhelming majority of them employed in a role related to their career goals. Of course, it's not uncommon for our students to receive promotions and new job offers while going through the program. On this slide, you can also see a list of companies where our program has a large alumni footprint. Something, however, that is not mentioned on this slide is that we just surveyed our first year students, and 90% of them indicated that they are already confident their MBA degree will pay off. The next slide provides a high-level overview of the different paces, of the different available paces that you can pursue. Taking 2 courses per each 8-week module will allow you to graduate in 16 months. This is ideal for students who want to maximize their GI Bill benefits, or who are simply interested in finishing the program as quickly as possible. Taking 1 or 2 courses per each 8-week module will bring your graduation timeline between 22 and 24 months, which may be the preferred pace for those who want to ease into the program, or in general want to have greater flexibility throughout. If you have a very demanding or unpredictable schedule, taking 1 course per module may be better, and it will bring your timeline between 32 to 48 months. In the next slide, you can see some of the places that our MBA students have visited through global residency. Last summer, our students traveled to Estonia, Denmark, Sweden, and South Africa. I was actually part of the group that visited Denmark and Sweden. You can see me on the very back of this photo on the bottom left. This summer, our destinations are Japan, Greece, South Africa, and Dubai. During global residency, our students spend a week abroad, and as you can tell from the photos, they spend that week visiting and studying companies, as well as participating in cultural activities. The feedback that we consistently receive from our students is that the global residency trip is one of the most memorable and defining experiences of the program. Not only you are able to visit a different country and understand its culture and business environment, but through this experience, you are able to fortify your connections with your peers and further expand your network. However, I should also note that, as I mentioned earlier, if you're not able to travel, or if you cannot travel, you can still take the traditional course with international focus. Let's move to the next slide. There you can see a list of courses, a sample of our courses. Overall, our program will equip you with a holistic understanding of business and give you the opportunity to improve both your analytical and leadership skills. We do that through our core and elective courses. Again, here on this slide, you can see a sample of these courses. As you can notice, all academic business disciplines and business functions are represented in our curriculum. In addition, if you're interested, you can take up to 6 credit hours outside the MBA program. In the next slide, one of our offerings that I would like to draw your attention to is our certificate in business analytics. This is a 12-credit certificate that requires 4 courses. Data mining for business analytics is the core requirement, and 3 more electives courses that you can choose from the list on the right. I should emphasize that students can pursue this certificate as part of the MBA program, or as a standalone option without even having been admitted to the program. They can use this certificate as a pathway to the MBA program or not. That is, if you join the MBA program, you can use the certificate credits towards the 48 credits that I mentioned earlier. Overall, in terms of course expectations, you should expect to learn a lot and also have fun. Now, no two courses are the same. Our instructors bring their own unique approaches and teaching philosophies, but overall, our courses are interactive and the instructors facilitate active learning, which can take the form of case discussions, debates, hands-on activities, simulations, and so on. All our in-person classes are evening classes taking place from 7:20 to 10 p.m. and all our online courses are asynchronous. Now, asynchronous does not mean that you teach yourself. Our instructors have created pre-recorded content and also offer students the opportunity to connect with them through optional live sessions. For each week's topic, you will have an individual or group deliverable to work on. And in terms of workload, the expected time per week is 6 to 8 hours per course, but that also varies based on your education and professional background. Overall, you will learn not only from your instructors, but also from your peers. 85% of our first year students recently indicated that they have already been able to use the knowledge and skills they gained from their MBA courses in their careers. The next video offers you a preview of our online courses and how we deliver content to our students.
Welcome to the George Mason University online MBA program. You've taken the first steps in beginning your graduate degree, and we're excited to support you through this journey. Like many students, you might have some questions about what it's like to take classes online, so we've put together this video to show you what it's like to be an online student. Let's start with a quick tour of Blackboard. All of your important information can be found by using the navigation on the left-hand side of your screen. Here you'll find a link to course announcements, your course syllabus, assignments, and the library. At George Mason, we believe strongly in providing you with opportunities to test your knowledge and receive feedback in real time.
The only difference is that we'll also add today's costs.
Faculty have curated and created custom videos and tutorials to provide you the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the content and build a broad network of peers who will enhance your perspectives and challenge your thinking through rich discussions and a variety of group work. Remember, your student success coach will be here to support you every step of the way, because at George Mason University, student success is our #1 goal.
Now, I would like to wrap up by talking about the biggest asset of our program, and that is our students. As I mentioned earlier, our students have diverse academic and work experience backgrounds. No matter what your background, the MBA team, faculty, and staff are here to work with you. And keep in mind that in my experience, commitment is the greatest predictor of student success. Speaking of student success, earlier I also mentioned that it is not uncommon for our students to receive promotions or new job offers while going through the program. The next video spotlights one of our recent student success stories, but you can find more stories of this on our website. And I believe Susan can put in the chat box a recent, after we watch the next video, Susan can put in the chat box the link to one of our articles that highlights more success stories.
Yep, it's posted right there. And let's listen to the one that we have on hand.
My name is Samantha Krudsinger. I am a graduate of George Mason with my MBA. I grew up in a very poor background. I just knew that if I stayed where I was in Tennessee, I wasn't going to grow any further. So I had to figure out how to make life better. I moved up to the Washington, D.C. area and met people who held jobs like I have now. I networked around, and so why can't I do that? And then I realized the only difference is I'm not making it happen. I knew the only way to get there was through going to college. The MBA program I was in was a cohort. I was with most of these people the whole time in my MBA. We all worked really well together and helped each other out. Coming from my background, I try to bring a different perspective into leadership, and I've been fortunate that my companies that I've worked for have recognized the drive that I have and the desire I want to be good at what I do, and they've promoted me along the way, and I've made it to the director level. If I was giving someone advice, don't kid yourself. If you want it, then you're gonna go for it and you're gonna get it. But motivation isn't really what you need, it's discipline. When you look back on it and you think, man, how did I do that? No one ever says, I'm sad that I got my MBA. Everyone says that they're proud of themselves. It's worth it in the long run.
And
So
I should emphasize that both Samantha and Bailey, they did their MBAs fully online.
yeah, and so I posted Bailey's, and I encourage y'all to take a look at it. It's fantastic. So now we're talking about the application process, but before we do, Dr. Bellows, what makes, so I love the fact that students can be from a diverse background. One of the majors on there was theater. So, I mean, that's very strong in the arts. So are there any particular prerequisite courses that are needed for this program?
There is no prereq course per se. We do ask students, I mean, to have like as the slide mentions here,
Oh, I see it. Yes.
to provide evidence on successful prior completion of calculus, algebra, or a stats class. This is recommended prior to enrolling in the MBA program. But we are fully aware of the fact that, and we do want to accommodate and support a diversity of backgrounds. So even if, you know, quant or algebra or math was not, you know, your favorite subject topic at college, we have curated a list of resources that after you're admitted to the program, you can go through, and will help you hit the ground running. Again, the only recommendation that we make to our students is that to have completed a calculus, algebra, or statistics class. That's recommended prior to enrolling in the MBA program. But we are here to fully support them.
Wonderful. Now, Alfredo's asking, do you have to be far in the degree to be able to take the global residency? So when does that occur in the program?
So roughly you will need to be done with your core courses.
Okay.
And that's intentional in the sense that we want you to have been exposed to all the core coursework, the 10 different courses, right? Roughly, depending on when you enter, that maybe you may have to be exposed only to 9 courses. But ideally, we want you to have been exposed to all the core different disciplines and business functions. So when you travel and when you visit the companies and interact with them, you are able to put everything together. So you are able to integrate integrate all the different knowledge from the different business functions.
Fantastic.
So that's roughly, you have to roughly be done with 9 to 10 courses.
Okay. Now, I love the flexibility of this program. It can't be more flexible. So 16 months is the quickest that you can finish it. The traditional route is 33 months. And then if need be, we give you up to 6 years to complete this degree. And the fact that you have the online option, if you want to take some campus courses and have a hybrid option, or do it on campus, you can. So that's fantastic. Is there any tutoring available?
The tutoring varies depending. So if you take the MBA 633, which is our statistics course, if you take that in person, you do have access to in-person tutor. If you do not take that in person, there are so many interactive tutorials that the instructor have put together, and they make themselves available once and twice per week for live sessions that you can choose. Those are optional to join if you want.
Okay.
But
Now,
other than that, the program is fully asynchronous, and it can be completed without. We do not require you to participate in any live sessions unless you want to do so.
perfect.
And the instructor most of the instructors do have standing office hours live via Zoom or similar or Microsoft Teams. That it's up to you whether you join. Up to the students.
That's wonderful. And in terms of class size, what does it typically range for the online?
It varies. Our electives can be from 10 to 20.
That's
It varies.
great.
Our core courses, it can go from 25 up to 45, maybe 15, depending on the intake. Yeah.
Okay. And so you mentioned that you can take 6 credits outside the MBA program. Does that mean like in lieu of,
You do not. So we have, let's say, we have 10 core courses, 1 global requirement, and 5 electives.
correct.
You can do 3 MBA electives and 2 electives outside of the MBA program.
Does it have to be like in finance or accounting? I mean, could it be in drama? I mean, I'm just throwing out some.
It can be. We have. I mean, it can be in public policy. Let's say, it can be from a different unit at Mason, or it can be in other units. I mean, this is subject to my approval, director approval. But if I see that the elective that the student wants fit within their aspirations, their profile, it has an element of managerial responsibilities or provides some basic some elements of managerial training, I approve that, and then we coordinate with the other program, the other unit, so our students can take it. So
Okay.
we have had students who recently I approved a couple of requests for students of ours to take courses, graduate level electives in public policy.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And the program accepts 6 transfer credits as long as it's from an accredited ACCSB. I'm probably getting that totally wrong.
I don't have the exact number. I don't remember the exact number, but we approve more than that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, we are approved more than that. So, and this is something but we will have to exchange information. We will ask the students to provide us more additional information, past syllabi, and so on and so forth. But we do approve a considerable number of credits from other programs, past institutions, other institutions, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Graduate level.
Yeah. So with respect to, so you either go a week abroad or you do the global.
Right. So the week abroad is part of it is part of the course. It is part of a course. So if you decide that okay, I do want to travel, then what's going to happen is still the course will take place over 8 weeks. You're going to spend the first few weeks in the classroom or online getting prepared about the trip, learning about the country, studying relevant case studies. Then you travel abroad, you spend 1 week in the country, and then when you come back, you do have 1 or 2 sessions to do the debrief, talk some group project presentations, and so on and so forth. Now, if you do not want or you cannot travel, many times sometimes our students cannot travel because of work, family responsibilities. Then you can still take a more traditional course, an 8-week course, still an 8-week course, but with no travel component. And you can choose among some options. There are some options. There are courses with international emphasis, like international marketing, international strategy, or international finance.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Now,
there is a focus on international and global elements, aspects, but there is no travel required.
fantastic. Now, are both choices, are they synchronous, meaning you have to, if you're doing it online, you have to log on at a certain time?
So for the courses that do not require travel, those are asynchronous courses. But the courses that do require travel, for if you choose to participate in the global residency, that's going to be synchronous.
The entire 8 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Meaning you just have to log in at a certain time. You don't have to show up to campus.
That is correct. That's going to be like virtual, right? Via Zoom or Teams.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I want to stress to y'all that once accepted into the program, in addition to your faculty, you'll have a student success coach, okay, who you'll work very closely with and communicate with to set up an individualized course plan. So that's wonderful.
And every time that you need to make any change, your student success coach will be there. Your student success coach typically is 1 text away. You text her, you coordinate a call, and you adjust your plan accordingly.
Absolutely. So, don't be shy. Do y'all have any questions? We have Dr. Bellos here to answer all your questions about the program.
One question that I usually get is, what if we choose to do the program completely online? Will that show on our degree? Will that show on the diploma? No, there is no distinction between. You will still get and regardless of whether you do it fully online, fully in person, or mixed modalities, you will be getting an MBA from George Mason University. That's all.
Absolutely. And you can walk too in the graduation.
Absolutely. Not only that, and we know that this is not just for the online MBA program here at Mason, but we know that most online MBA programs, the online students are within a certain 50-mile radius within the campus. So we invite you in-person events, speakers, social events, networking, happy hours, of course.
Now that's great, because best of both worlds here. So, you don't have to fight traffic. You don't have to find a parking spot or fight inclement weather. You can access your education in the comfort of your own home. However, if you're a hop, skip, and a jump from campus and you want to stop on over to set up a study group, or you can. So to me, that's the best of both worlds. If we don't have any other questions, we can talk about the application process. So I work as a part of a team. So if you don't have an admissions representative that you're working with, on the next slide, I will provide you with our contact information, and I urge you to reach out to my team, and either myself or one of my colleagues will be happy to assist you. Now, the application process is very simple, okay? We'll tell you all about the online program, again, when you call back in. And to apply, we need a bachelor's transcripts. And the great thing about it is that Mason will use unofficial transcripts if you have one lying around. Now, if not, as a courtesy, we will attempt to order those on your behalf, okay? A resume, okay? Now, one of the hard prerequisites for this program, though, is a 2 years work experience. Is that correct?
That
Okay.
is correct, yes.
Okay. Unless you're a non-traditional student, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Bella. So say, for example, I've been in the military and working in the military for 10 years, and I go back to get my degree, and, you know, I've been maybe working, you know, while I'm in school a little bit. The military experience will qualify, yes?
We strongly encourage you to reach out to us and apply, or reach out to us if you have non-traditional work experience. If, let's say, you have you have professional experience, even though most of the professional experience may have happened before you getting your undergraduate degree, you reach out to us. We have a process. We have a process for that. So post-baccalaureate, it's not the post-baccalaureate part here should not encourage you. We look at your application holistically, and if you have professional experience that may have happened, like military experience, right, or entrepreneurial experience, that may have happened before you officially getting an undergraduate degree, reach out to us. We do have a process to accommodate this.
Absolutely.
To review and potentially accommodate this.
Absolutely. And with respect to GPA, now, preferably a 3.0 or above. But again, what Dr. Bellows just mentioned, we look at you holistically. So if you have tons of work experience and you graduated, you know, eons ago, they're going to take that into consideration, correct? Okay.
Absolutely. Or maybe you majored in a degree in a field that later on, you know, you majored in one field, but then later on you pivoted and you build a successful career on a different field. So again, we will never flat out deny your application because of some numerical value. We will look at your application holistically.
Yeah, that's great. You're not just a number defined by your GPA. There is a personal or goal statement. It's like 500 to 750 words, and we'll provide the little prompts to answer it, why you want to do it, why Mason, your career goals, and so forth. So very easy to complete. 2 letters of recommendation. This is very easy. All you have to do is input their names and emails into the application portal. They will receive an email with a link that takes them to a questionnaire. Literally takes them about 10 minutes to complete. So very easy. And we already mentioned the work experience, but then, you know, again, there's non-traditional applicants as well, such as military students. And let me go to the next slide. Okay, so what you see here is the main number, okay, our email, and then the link to apply. Okay, so it's very easy. Again, my name is Susan, and again, I work with a team of excellent professionals that our job is just to be your personal assistant through the application process. So you're not wondering what to do at any time. We give you an application checklist and you follow that step by step. And then of course you contact us if you have any questions. Okay. Any other questions since we have Dr. Bellows here? And I do encourage you to listen to Bailey's testimonial. And I think you mentioned it is on the website. Is that correct? Yeah, good stuff. We're an accredited program, top-notch faculties. We're also a Tier 1 research university. We're the largest research institution in Virginia. So that means your curriculum is going to be backed by the latest research-based evidence. Plus, a lot of alumni don't even know this, but Mason is actually ranked 7th in the entire nation as a value rated school. So meaning you're going to get a great bang for your buck.
And
Go
especially
ahead.
the MBA, the ROI for the MBA program is 2. It's 2 to 1. And based on the evidence, the hard numbers that we listed in the presentation.
So what you mean is that you're going to earn back double what you paid in. Is
So
that
we
what
have
you
a
mean by the
starting,
2
let's
for
say
1?
we have an average starting an average salary on graduation at 104,000.
Yes, amazing.
And
yes.
if you do the math, our the total tuition is 52,000 or something like that. Yeah, I think the
Wonderful.
number speaks for himself.
So I thought of one other question that I have. Students often ask, does the department have relationships with local organizations? You mentioned job fairs. How about, is there any opportunities for internships?
We have two fantastic, novel, innovative, industry-leading centers at not just George Mason University within housed in the School of Business. We do have the Baroni Center for Government Contracting. They do phenomenal work in the space of government contracting, and we know how big this space is in the DMV area. And we also have the Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We have very close ties with both centers. The director of the Baroni Center for Government Contracting helps us find speakers. He teaches an in-person course on government contracting, which is a unique course. To my knowledge, no other programs, MBA programs, have a similar course within the area. So yeah, short answer is yes, we do have connections with industry, and we're very proud of 2 great assets, especially those 2 centers. And something that I'm not sure whether we talked about, probably not, you as School of Business graduate, you do get lifelong career services.
Oh, yes,
Even after
exactly.
graduation.
And big time heavy hitter companies seek out our MBA grads, such as Booz Allen, Deloitte. The list is quite extensive. So again, reach out to the admissions rep. We can help you apply. Right now, we have a January 8th start. And so, like I said, the application process is really easy. And we're here to help. Dr. Bellos, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you for coordinating this, Susan, and everyone. As I always like to say, when in doubt, reach out. You will be surprised by how responsive we are to emails and inquiries. So I do appreciate you taking the time to join this information session, and I do look forward to connecting with you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us this evening, everybody. I hope you have a lovely night.